You know, I am proud to be a major contributor to the incredible dish of Texas chili. But you know, it's the neighbors. Always the same stuff put in there, you know, and the cows. I don't like them. What if we made Texas chili, but only used pork? I think it'll work. What? You think it'll work? Chili pepper, silly pepper, it's gonna be epic. So yeah, I know that we did a Texas chili episode, Meaty Texas Cili, a month or two ago. But I'll tell you what, it was a ginormous hit. Well, tomorrow I've got about 15 or 20 people coming over. We're going to try that again, and this time we're going to make an all-pork chili. So today I've got one thing that I got to get prepped, and that is pork belly. I've got about 3 pounds of pork belly right here. We're going to smoke that and then chuck it in the refrigerator, and we'll dice that up tomorrow to add to our chili. So I'm using Cattleman's Grill new steakhouse rub. Everything I've tried from Cattleman's Grill has been fantastic, so I have no doubt this will be the same. All right, my Yoder YS640S pellet grill is heated up to 250 degrees. We're going to slap this pork belly on. It's going to go for about 3.5 hours till it hits an internal temperature of 195-ish. That's where I want to pull it off. I don't want this stuff falling apart in my chili. I want some good sized chunks in there. So that's what we'll do, and then we'll see you tomorrow when we prep the rest of the pork for this incredible chili. See you then. It is now chili day, and I've been doing a lot of prep for the chili. First of all, I took our dried chilies, destemmed and deseeded them. Now, if you haven't cooked with dried chilies, you are missing out. This is so much better than just using chili powder. You get much better flavors. I have a mixture here of mulatto, ancho, and guajillo chilies. As always, dear friends, there is a recipe, but you can get it by going to galleyofthesun.com. It'll be there. There will be a link down below in the description taking you right to that recipe. I've also diced up a couple of Vidalia onions. Love the flavor of those. A heck of a lot of garlic cloves. This is pork Texas chili, so I've got pork smoked sausage. I've cut these into coin-sized, that's pretty big, poker chip-sized pieces. And I have cooked up some bacon. All right, so really the only knife work I haven't done that needs to be done is the pork belly we smoked yesterday. Now, you know, they say the eyes is bigger than the stomach. Yeah, looking over all of my ingredients here, I'm thinking this might be just a little bit overkill. So I'm going to dice up half of this. So I'm going to cut this just into bite-sized chunks because you want to have, well, a little bit less than bite-sized chunks because you want to have multiple things on your spoon, right? And you don't want to have to eat it with a ladle. So I'm going to get this diced up, and then we will move on to the work at the stove. So we'll see you then. All right, so let's talk real quick about prep. We're sitting about 4 hours before we want to eat right now. So you need to start your prep probably 2 hours before that. Do not underestimate the time it takes to deseed and destem these chilies, especially if you're using smoked chilies like mulattoes. Now, we love mulatto chilies, so it's worth the work. But it's the reason that I'm not using chipotles. Chipotles are a serious pain in the
tallywhacker
ass.
Oh yeah, that thing, to get the seeds out of. So I'm going to use chipotle powder, and I'm going to use a chipotle broth in the chili to get that chipotle flavor. But again, it is well worth the time. Now, we got a lot of stuff to do, and the order is sort of important to a point. First thing we're going to do is brown up our pork sausage, and you'll understand why we're doing this as we go along. So, for this batch, I am using 1 pound of pork sausage. Had this in my freezer. I know it's good. Normally, my favorite is Jimmy Dean's sage sausage whenever I'm adding sausage to a savory dish. So I'm going to get this all browned up, and then I'm going to put it on a paper towel lined baking sheet to soak up the grease from the sausage, because we don't need any extra in this chili. Once that's done, we'll come back and do the next step. See you then. The pork sausage is done. It has left behind the rendered fat and spices from that as we remove the meat. Now we're going to supplement that with a couple tablespoons of bacon grease.
Hell yes.
Because why the hell not? Once we have that melted, in goes our dried chilies. We're going to brown these for about a minute till they start to poof up. You definitely don't want to burn them. You put so much work into destemming and deseeding them. Keep an eye on them. Safety note, if you did leave any seeds behind, they may well explode in this step, so be careful. All right, it's been about a minute. I can smell the aroma. We're going to get these out now and into a blender. Now cover them with just enough hot water to get them submerged. Now, my dear friends, if you want to make good Texas chili, now would be the time that you would add some diced up boiled ham or smoked ham to your pan. But we want to make outstanding Texas chili, so we're going to borrow from their neighbors of Louisiana. And we're adding tasso ham. This is tasso ham we made ourselves. You can see the video up there somewhere. Well, you can see the thumbnail. I'll put a link down below where you can go watch it. Oh my gosh, incredible flavor, well worth it. So we're just putting these in here long enough to get them brown to give them a little bit of texture. It's already cooked. We just want a little crisp. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm sort of writing this recipe as I do it. That's a lot of meat. I may be changing the amounts of broths we need. We'll see once we get it in the pot. Oh, the aroma of that. I'm going to be torturing everybody in the house for about 4 hours as this cooks. I'm happy with that texture. With a slotted spoon, we're going to remove the tasso, leaving behind that rendered fat and their spices. Now we'll do the same with our smoked sausage. Just browning it up a little bit, crisping it up, giving us some texture. The tasso took about 10 minutes. I imagine this will be about the same. So once we get this browned up, we'll come back with the next step. We'll see you then. Alrighty, time to remove our sausage.
Did you actually just say that?
Again, using a slotted spoon. Now in our pan is the rendered fat from the pork sausage, the bacon fat, the tasso, and the smoked sausage. Got about a 1/4 cup in there. I'm going to take out everything but about 2 to 3 tablespoons now. Also on the bottom of this skillet is some beautiful fond, which is delicious flavor. Now we put those delicious flavors to work. In go our onions. And we're going to cook those for about 5 minutes until they're translucent, or until you can see through them. After a little bit, once the onions start to release their water, we'll make sure that we scrape the bottom of that pan to get all that fond up. As that is cooking away, we're going to take our chilies that have been sitting in this water for about 20 minutes and get this all blended up into a beautiful, luxurious paste. All that fond is releasing just fine from the water from the onions. And every bit of that flavor is sucked up by the onions. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Once you're happy with the translucicity of your onions, add your garlic. Stir until fragrant. Then you have an option. If you have all the fond up, then once you start smelling that aroma of the garlic, turn your heat off, get this pan off the heat. If you still have some fond in there, then add your crushed tomatoes now. That's gonna help you get those off. But I'm happy with the fond pickup, so heat off, skillet off. All right, now it's time to bring out your big ass stock pot. I learned the hard way because I kept making things that were so big that I would fill up my stock pot and not have any room to stir, or if I did stir, it went all over the freaking place. So I got this thing. There's a link for it down below. Let's get it on. Now it's time to bring all of these things together. In goes in our sauce, into the pot goes our sausage and tasso, our smoked pork belly, our crispy bacon that we made. Oh, and by the way, if you're not doing your bacon this way, you're doing it the hard way. Took my pieces of bacon, dredged them in flour, put them on a wire rack over a baking sheet, chucked them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Then I started checking them every 5 minutes. When they're at the right temperature, voila, good to go. You don't have to worry about splattering grease. You don't have to worry about flipping them 100 times. Didn't flip them once. Came out beautiful, crispy, good to go. Our ground sausage. Do not add the paper towel.
No kidding. No kidding.
We're gonna bring that heat back on to about medium. In with our onions and garlic. Give that a stir and mix it together. Add the crushed tomatoes. We keep these on hand all the time. Love Centro brand. Good stuff. Our chili paste from our dried chilies. Now I've got some residue in there. I've got some residue in the tomato can. I have a solution. Normally I would use Modelo's, but we got our hands on some locally brewed Hatch Green Chili beer. So I'm going to use this to rinse those two out. We're going to add a second beer because America. In with the beef broth. And we love the better than bouillon. That's what I'm using for these this one and the next two. In with our chicken broth. And then if you can get your hands on this, better than bouillon smoky chipotle, oh, you need to. Incredible. That's what this is. Now our tomato paste. And our diced fire roasted Hatch Green chilies. And I can tell now that I didn't over meatize it. I'm happy with the liquid to solid ratio here. Gonna stir this up. Now it's time to add a few spices. Chipotle chili powder. And again, the amounts are in the recipe, which is on our webpage. There's a link down below to get there. Now, this is gonna be a very spice-full chili, a very flavorful chili, but it's not gonna have a ton of heat. If you want that, you can certainly do it. Add more of the chipotle chili powder. Add some diced up fresh serranos or Fresno peppers or jalapenos that haven't been seeded. Cayenne pepper, that'll do it too. Ground cumin, one of my favorites, smoked paprika. Mexican oregano. Spiceology's vampire killer. Spiceology's achote. And 4 bay leaves. Now, because we have salt from the smoked pork belly, the tasso ham, the sausages, I'm not going to add any extra, but I am going to add some black pepper. Now, my friends, we stir that. We bring it to a boil. We take it down to a simmer. And then we stir it every 15 minutes or so for the next 2 to 4 hours. So we'll see ya when it's time to get some judgment. See you then. Alrighty, we're done with the simmering. Now for some judgment from the director.
It's very meaty. Very flavorful. I like it.
Alrighty.
Very good.
So the question is the all pork better than the regular meaty Texas chili that had beef in it also, or is it just different?
It's just different. I mean, it's a good flavor. It's very meaty. It's just a different type of meat. Very good.
All right, there you go. Sometimes you need different meat.
What? What are you saying?
All right, hey, on that note, thank you so much for joining us today. Until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.
Okay. Yeah. Couldn't keep a straight face on that one.